how are you guys? As usual, my name is Ernest Masharia, and how are you progressing? I know it's somehow tough, but I know you shall cope with it. So, for today, we shall continue with our class of row, and today we shall tackle a topic called row of persons, and we shall see mahali tutafikisha. So have your book and a pen. Let's proceed with our notes. This is about taking notes and some few explanations. Nilikwambia hii kitu ni kujisomea, unajisomea, unashika, inakuwa hapa kwa akili, and you are good to go. So let's proceed. Take your book, write a heading and a topic called row of persons. And we'll start by defining some few terms. And term on number one, corporations. Corporations is an association of persons recognized as a legal entity. Term number two, limited liability. Members can be called upon to contribute to the assets of the corporation beyond a specified sum. Term number three, ultra vires. We are still writing. The capacity of a company is restricted to transactions set forth in the object's clause. Term number four, domicile. This is the country in which a person has or is deemed by law to have a permanent home. Term number five, nationality. This is the legal and political relationship between an individual and the state or country. Let's proceed. In Kenya, yes, we are still writing. In Kenya, the law recognizes two persons upon whom it confers rights and imposes obligations. These people are: one, national person; two, artificial person. Let's define who is a national, sorry, not a national, but a national person. This is the human being who is recognized as a person by law by reason of his characteristics. Number two, artificial person. This is an abstraction of law, often described as a juristic person. It is a metaphysical entity created in contemplation of the law. I repeat, this is an abstraction of law, often described as a juristic person. It is a metaphysical entity created in contemplation of the law. This person is referred to as a corporation or incorporated association. So, corporation or incorporated association, what are those? It's a subtopic. Corporation or incorporated association. So, we are still writing. This is an association of persons recognized as a legal entity. It is an independent legal existence. It has own rights and is subjected to obligations. It has capacity to own property, contract, sue or be sued, and perpetual succession. Inaweza stakiwa, inaweza staki, na inaweza rithi. So creation is a subtopic. Creation stroke formation of corporations. Roman 1. It can, we write something small. An incorporated association may be brought into existence in any of the following ways. Number 1, registration. This is a process of incorporation provided by the Companies Act. 2, statute. Acts of Parliament often created incorporated associations. 3, charter. Under the Universities Act, when a private university is granted by charter by the relevant authority, it becomes a legal person of discharging its power and obligations. Types of corporations is a subtopic. Types of corporations. Number 1, corporations sole. Moja hivi, sole, moja. This is a legally established office distinct from the holder and can only be occupied by one person, after which he is succeeded by another. Yeah, we continue writing. It is a legal person in its own right, with limited liabilities, perpetual succession, capacity to contract, own property, and sue or be sued. Examples of these corporations sole include Office of the Public Trustee. 2, Office of the Permanent Secretary to the Treasury. Corporate number 2, corporations aggregate. Corporations aggregate. This is a legal entity formed by 2 or more persons for a lawful purpose and whose membership consists of at least 2 persons. It has an independent legal existence with limited liability, capacity to contract, own property, sue or be sued, and perpetual succession. Examples include public and private companies. Type number 3, registered corporation. These are corporations created in accordance with the provisions of Companies Act. Certain documents must be delivered to the Registrar of Companies to facilitate the registration of the company. These include Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association, and statements of nominal capital. Examples of registered corporations are public and private companies. Number 4, statutory corporations. These are corporations created by acts of Parliament. The acts create the association, gives it a name, and describes the objects. Examples: Kenya Wildlife Services, Agricultural Finance Corporations, Public Universities, etc. Number 5, type number 5 of corporations, chartered corporations. These are corporations created by a charter granted by relevant authority. The charter constitutes the association a corporation by the name of the charter, e.g. private universities. A small subtopic or a small subheading. Legal personality. Features of corporation. Subtopic: features of corporation. 1. Legal personality. A corporation is a legal person distinct and separate from its members and managers. It has an independent legal personality. It is a body corporate with rights and subject to obligations, and obligations. And we have a case in Salmon versus Salmon and Company Limited, 1897. Number 2, limited liability. The liability of a corporation is limited as such members cannot be called upon to contribute to the assets of a corporation beyond a specified sum. 3. Owning property. A corporation has the capacity to own property. The property of a corporation belongs to it and not to the members. 4. Sue or be sued. Naweza stakiwa ama istaki. Since a corporation is a legal person with rights and subject to obligations, it has the capacity to enforce its rights by action, and it may be sued or sued on its obligations. E.g., when a wrong is done to a company, the company is the prima facie plaintiff. Ndio itastaki, alright? Prima facie plaintiff, ndio itastaki. And we have a case of Force versus Harboto. Yes, sorry. We have a case of Force versus Harboto. Number 5, capacity to contract. Inaingia kwa contract, naweza chukua contract, naweza apply contract. A corporation has a capacity to enter into contracts, being the employment or to promote the purpose for which they were created. All right? Number 6, perpetual succession. Since a corporation is created by law, its life lies in the intendment of law. I repeat, since a corporation is created by law, its life lies in the intendment of law. It has capacity to exist in perpetuity. It has no body, mind or soul. For example, the death of directors or members of a company cannot determine a company's life. It can only be brought to an end through the legal process of winding up. Alright? So, type number 2. An incorporated association. An incorporated association. These are associations of persons who come together to promote a common and lawful purpose. Incorporation, subheading, incorporation. What is incorporation? This is a legal process by which a partnership or other form of an incorporated association is converted to a registered company. Another subtopic, formation of a limited company. Formation of a limited company. In order to incorporate themselves into a company, those people wishing to trade through the media of a limited liability company must first prepare and register certain documents, full stop. These are as follows. 1. Memorandum of Association. 2. Under that, What are the contents of a memorandum of association? 1A or Roman 1. Name clause. It describes the name of the company. B. The registered office clause states that the registered office of the company will be situated in Kenya. C. Object clause sets out the purpose of which the company is incorporated. D. Capital clause specifies the capital with which the company purpose to be registered at the division thereof. E. Liability clause states whether the members' liability is limited or unlimited and whether limited by shares or by guarantee. F. Association or declaration states the desire of the subscribers to be formed into a company. G. Particulars of subscribers. Name of the subscribers, post address, occupation, number of shares taken, etc. H. Date. A memorandum must be dated. So, those are some of the contents of memorandum of association. So, number 2 of the documents that must be registered, tumesema memorandum of association. 2. Articles of association. Articles of association, where the memorandum of association of a company sets out its objectives and external constitution. The articles of associations contain the rules and regulations by which its internal affairs are governed, and detailing with such matters as shares, share capital, companies, meetings, and directors, among others. 3. Statements of nominal capital. This is only required if the company has share capital. 4. Declaration of compliance. This is a statutory declaration made either by the advocates engaged in the formation of the company or by persons named in the articles as the directors or secretaries, to the effect that all the requirements of the Company Act have been complied with. So those are some of the requirements to register for a company. And for tomorrow, we shall start by the statutory corporations. Right there, subtopic, statutory corporations. So go through that. We shall meet again tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.